As we look back, we don't measure ourselves by numbers, but we measure by the impact we have had on employees and their families, impact on customers and their businesses, impact on the community, impact on the partners, the ecosystem, and of course impact on the industry. There are several companies out there building products. What makes Zoho different is we not only build products, but we focus on building know-how and capability to build products in regions that are otherwise ignored and providing opportunity to people that are otherwise ignored. We have employees who have been with the company for a long time. We have employees who spend over half their life in Zoho. And we also have employees who are with us now but were born after we started the company. And we have employees joining us through conventional means. And of course, we also have employees who come through the Zoho schools. And we have some employees who joined us through some unconventional routes.
I came to Chennai just with 1,000 rupees in my pocket. Okay, so one of my friend who helped me to get a security job in Zoho, okay, for scanning laptops. I was very happy that I got a job like in such big companies, like not actually in Zoho, but in a post in a big company. Okay, pardon my English. Okay, I was in a different medium of school. Okay, I was in Assamese medium. I have learned this all from Zoho schools.
He may have joined us through a security job. He is now a developer at Zoho, developing applications for Zoho Analytics team.
அப்பா வந்துட்டு சலூன் கடை தான் வச்சுருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதுலேருந்து வர இன்கம் வந்துட்டுனா கம்மி தான். அப்பா மட்டும் தான் வீட்டில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறாங்க, அம்மா ஹவுஸ் ஒய்ஃப் தான். ஸோ என்னாலேயும் ஜோகோ ஜாயின் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு இன்கம் கொடுக்க முடிஞ்சிச்சு, ஃபேமிலியை சப்போர்ட் பண்ண முடிஞ்சிச்சு.
நான் இப்போ 7 மாதமாக வேலை பார்க்குறதுனால எனக்கு சேலரி கொடுக்குறாங்க. அந்த சேலரி வச்சு எங்கள் வீட்டில் நடக்கிற கஷ்டத்தெல்லாம் என்னால் போக்க முடியுது. எனக்கு தேவையான பொருளெல்லாம் என்னோடய பைசாலே வாங்கிக்கிடுறேன். ஸோ என்னால் அந்த சேலரி வச்சு கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக என்னோடய வீட்டு கஷ்டத்தையும் போக்க முடியுது. நான் அதை சேர்த்து வச்சு என்னோடய தங்கச்சி அவங்களுக்கும் பண்ண முடியுது. என்னோடய கல்யாணத்துக்கு, என் தங்கச்சி அவங்க கல்யாணத்துக்கும் என்னால் சேவிங் பண்ண முடியுது.
Due to like financial reasons, I had to leave my home actually. So with 1,000 rupees in my pocket, like I went to the like train station, bought the ticket for 800 rupees, and only 200 rupees left in my pocket. So I came to Chennai, roaming in the streets with only 200 rupees in my pocket.
ஆனால் அதோட வருமானம் வந்த பிறகு எங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் என்னுடைய பாரம் ரொம்ப குறைஞ்சிருக்கு. இப்போ அதனால் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது. அந்த ஜோஹோக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி சொல்லுது.
7 மாதமாக நல்ல சம்பளம் வாங்கிட்டு இருக்கா. ஏன் கஷ்டம் கொஞ்சம் நீங்கி வந்தது சார். கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டத்தில் 3 பிள்ளை இல்லை, ஒரு பிள்ளை நல்லா நீங்கி வந்துடுச்சு அப்படின்னு பெருமைப்படுதான். இது எல்லாமே எங்கள் ஐயா ஜோஹோக்கு தான் நன்றி தெரிவிக்கணும்.
And you know that I am the very first software engineer my entire village. I am the first engineer. So it makes me like, I don't know that whether I should be proud of myself, I don't know, but it makes me happy that I am the first engineer of my village.
There is a lot of latent talent in the world that is really waiting for that opportunity, that first step on the ladder. At Zoho, we have actually specialized in providing that opportunity, get people on that first step on the ladder, and then they figure out how to climb afterwards. It's really that the talent is everywhere in our estimation. In fact, if we could do it all over again, if we could do it all over the world, we would create so much opportunity.
People often look at Zoho Schools of Learning and see it as an institution that is providing opportunities to the ignored masses. Yes, right to an extent. But Zoho is also benefiting from this. That's the little secret right there. Here is raw talent that's just being disregarded or not being acknowledged simply because probably they don't have good English knowledge, probably they haven't been exposed to a computer early in their life, probably they missed out on all the exposure a city education could give them. It is not a lack of talent, but a lack of exposure.
Talent is universal, opportunity is not. With that, we want to take the opportunity where talent is. And we have had the opportunity to open up offices in various locations rurally in India. Now we have expanded that idea beyond India. We now have offices in 2 locations in US. One is in New Braunfels, Texas, and the other one is outside of Bastrop, Texas. And we plan to add more in US. Similarly, we started offices in Cornwall, Ontario, in Canada. We have also added 2 offices in Mexico, San Juan del Rio, as well as in Tequisquiapan. And these are 2 small towns outside of Querétaro, where we already have an office. And we are doing the same in various locations in Europe as well as in Asia Pacific as well. And we have always had an office in Kowane, Japan. And all of these offices are basically based on the same underlying philosophy, where we want to take opportunity where the talent is. And we are proud of doing this.
Yeah, part of the long-term thinking in the company is this notion of investing in people. And part of the thinking from the start, might align with I think Stevenson's words about, don't measure your day by the harvest you reap, but rather measure by the seeds you sow. So for us, this notion of thinking long-term, looking at the macroeconomic picture, looking at where investments have long-term value has been part of it.
Our purpose in Zoho is to create opportunity for people who do not have that opportunity and create really compelling technology for customers who could not afford that before.
Zoho is running schools, colleges in various parts of India that train local talent on software development. These talents are then consumed in the company to develop world-class products.
As a whole, they have a company culture that's quite different from other software vendors. Quiet, not overly obtrusive, not calling attention to themselves, very hardworking, and very relationship-based, working with people to achieve a goal rather than going for it themselves.
The impact of Zoho isn't just about architecture, technology, tools that anyone can use, tools that business can implement, privacy, security, intelligence. The impact of Zoho that I think of is really about that audacity to think, what if? What if I could grow a zucchini? I'm a girl from LA. Why am I growing a zucchini? But the reality is that what Zoho's brought to the industry is that ability to believe, what if I taught a school full of kids? What if I trained a whole new generation of technologists? What if I decided being in the Silicon Valley wasn't the right place for a business to grow? All of those what ifs pulled together over 25 years, that's what makes Zoho great.
From what I understand, has a very special relationship with their employees. You can see when you visit their offices or when you talk to people on the phone and you have a meeting with them, you can see that they all come together almost as a family, and I guess I could say they have humble origins. They know where they come from, they haven't forgotten where they come from, and they all work together.
For us, ManageEngine is a longtime friend. And so we are very proud to be part of the ManageEngine family.
In the 18 years that we've had a relationship, we've seen massive developments in ManageEngine, the tool stack. If we recall, it was a small little office with 100 people. Now they are 10,000 strong and they have a campus. The enthusiasm that we have from every staff member that we deal with over the last 20 years. And we learn from every person that we meet on every journey. One thing we can say, there's absolute passion in what they do.
Zoho has had a tremendous impact, not just economically, but also in the social development of the district. Zoho has been very successful in tapping the talent which is there in the rural area. One, of course, they have given a lot of qualitative employment to the people of that region. The second one is that overall economic development that has happened in that area. People have welcomed Zoho wherever they go because Zoho accustomizes itself and acclimatizes to the local needs of the people. They get themselves along with the people, and people start owning that place. The local people start owning Zoho. They start feeling that it is one amongst them. We don't really have to bring everybody out of the rural areas, bring them to the town and make them educated and take them to heights. We need to see that every rural area gets all the amenities that is required. Take on the strength of the rural areas, rebuild on that, bring back the confidence among our rural youth that they are not to be sidelined. They have the equal opportunities compared to the children who are there in the towns or in the urban areas. That is the confidence we have to build on, and they have tremendous strength in themselves. So we got to revive that strength among the rural youth, and catching them young is very important. Now that is where I think the schools have started working upon, the Zoho schools that you're working on. Now that will help children from their young age to get all that, all the extra, the facilities that the child who is there in the urban areas would get, and also take on the talent that they have already, the strength that they already have. So this is the real revival. I'm happy that you are doing that.
Embedding ourselves in the community and being an asset to the community is a key aspect, and along with building the capital in the community. When I say capital, I'm not referring to capital defined the traditional way.
I define capital quite differently from most people. For me, capital is not just its financial valuation. In fact, the financial value of capital is the least important or interesting part of it. Capital to me is a whole set of capabilities, human capabilities, know-how, expertise, culture, and the ability of a group of people to work together for a common cause. All of that is capital. Of course, the physical infrastructure, buildings, computers, all of that also are part of it. But the human capability, the culture is far more important, because infrastructure can be replaced, but the human beings can never be replaced. So that is why that is to me my core definition of capital.
Like that definition of capital, we always approach business through the first principle thinking. We always focused on what matters most: values over valuations, education over credentials, capital as in capability versus market capitalization, quality of life over rat race. So we always focused on what mattered. Some of these are influenced by philosophy, and philosophy plays an important role in Zoho.
Philosophy seems at first something far removed from everyday concerns of business, but in reality, philosophy is extremely important. And this is where your core convictions come from. For example, we talk about creating opportunity for people who lack it, creating opportunity for talent that does not have it. That is a philosophical premise. Why should we have to do it? That's a philosophical premise, it's a conviction that comes from within. In the same way, why should we work on rural initiatives? Why should we try to bring talent back into rural areas? All of these come from deep philosophical wellsprings. So it is very important for business people to be aware of the inner motivations, the philosophical journey within, from which all these motivations arise.
These convictions play a crucial role in the everyday decisions we make at Zoho. One such example is privacy.
I wrote the first privacy policy for Zoho, and one of the statements that was there right from the beginning is that we will not use your data for any marketing purposes. And till date we have held on to that promise that we will not monetize your data. So even before GDPR, now I am talking about 2006 when I wrote the first privacy policy. So in 2006 we made this promise that we will not monetize your data, and then that was much before people started talking about privacy, talking about data protection. So I think this data protection and privacy, the respect for users' data, is something that has been there with Zoho.
From building a deep technology stack to doing deep R&D in rural villages, from building over 100 products across industries to providing opportunity to over thousands of employees, from prioritizing education over credentials to prioritizing R&D over sales and marketing, from prioritizing privacy over profits to believing in zero debt philosophy, from doing marketing through engineering to doing organic farming as part of the business. All of these are driven by our convictions.
For the last 25 years, I've been very fortunate to work with many of my senior colleagues who have been there all along this journey. And that's something that is incredibly supportive, because without them, there's no way this whole organization could have been built. And this, in fact, I often wondered, why would people want to stay with us? And ultimately, it is not just for money, not just for material well-being, it is also fulfillment. For all of us, this journey has been extremely fulfilling, and that is why people are still with us. And we want to go another 25 years, if the universe is willing, on this journey.
I'm Brent Dorschkind, and I've been with Zoho for 14 years.
15 years.
15th year.
17th year at Zoho.
19 years.
20
years.
20th.
20 years.
20th year.
20 years. And this is my 21st year.
21st year.
This is my 21st year.
21st. My 21st year.
21 years.
21st year. 21st year.
22nd year.
My 22nd.
My 22nd.
My 23rd year.
23rd year. 23 years.
23 years.
My 24th year.
24 years.
24th.
25th year at Zoho.
This is my 25th year at Zoho. Wow, 25 years at the same company. Seems like a lifetime in our industry. But to be honest, this wasn't planned. It just happened.
We have over 100 people who have been with the company for over 20 years and a few thousand people who have been with us for over a decade. All employees committed towards the mission, along with our convictions and culture, make up the root system of Zoho. Look at Zoho as a plant. Externally, what you see is what's above the surface. Internally, what we see is what's underneath the soil. Over the last 25 years, we built a deep root system. Root system built around people, with values, built with conviction and culture. And that root system goes deep and wide. We don't look at it as a work life. We look at it as our life's work. We thank you for your support. Namaste.